Ego, man. Ego is one of those weird things that can be, well, it's a double-edged sword, isn't it, in the DJ industry? Ego's our best friend. Ego's our worst enemy. We have to find a way to keep our ego in check. What do I mean by that? It doesn't mean you gotta not be egotistical. Egotistical sounds like an ugly word, but honestly, it's the ego that gets us to go up in front of other people and do something, anything, stand in front of a crowd and do math. That takes a bit of ego, okay? The ego is the thing that's gonna get you to do that. And if you aren't aware of it, then that's when you can get into trouble, because it's that fine line you need to walk on a regular basis. Being aware of your ego and being aware of what it can do for you and what it can look like is kind of where you need to be. The ego is a fragile thing as well. We like to think that we're really good at what we do. So when we hear from people that, oh, you're not so great, or you get a bad review, or people don't dance to your song, your ego is hurt, and you let that ego really deal with how you can be. You can have your ego bruised, and then all of a sudden you're not really showing up as an amazing performer. You're like, oh, darn it, when it's dancing, well, up theirs, I'm not gonna work that hard if they're not gonna, really pay attention to how good I am or how good this song is, or hey, I know better than that. This thing feeds us, and this thing helps us to be able to stand in front of other people and convince them that we are good enough for them to pay us. At the same time, though, keeping it in check is really important. So who does that for you? Okay, you can kind of do it yourself, really. But honestly, you need to have that one person in your life who can look at you and say, I think you're kind of full of it, or you're kind of full of yourself, because that ego makes us look like the DJ that everybody doesn't like, okay? And I could talk about this in another show about this you're just the DJ thing, or people have this perception of what we are, but you already know what it is, and I probably will talk about it later, but you already know what that is, and that comes from that ego, that guy who shows up at the party with, I got it, you don't, I don't take requests, I won't play that, back off, I know what I'm doing. That guy has to stay enough in check to be able to give a client who doesn't really understand the millions of hours that you went through to be able to make this work, okay? They don't get that. So for you to yell at them, yell that, I know what I'm doing, Adam, means that now you come off as egotistical. Egotistical's negative. You want to come off as positive. You need to be able to be confident. Use that ego to feed your confidence so that you can step out into any situation and swing the golf club like you've been swinging it like a pro all your life. Can you do that? Okay? Or are you struggling with that? Many people, with their ego, they step back too far. It's like, oh, I don't want to come off sounding too like this or that, or I don't want to, that's another thing that people talk about with like not charging enough money. I don't want to look like I'm really super great or nothing. Okay, you can do that. But if my plumber comes to my house and says, I don't want to tell you that I'm the greatest plumber in the world, I'm all right. I'm like, get out of my house. I want the super great plumber here. Bring that guy. I don't want you playing with my pipes. I want the great guy. They still want you to be really good. Your ego has to show up to show your confidence. It's when your ego starts to belittle those around you, and belittle not only those around you, but the audiences you're in front of, that it starts to come off as really bad. So where are you? Have you had struggles with your ego? Have you had the little guy on this shoulder and the little guy on that shoulder telling you, those guys suck, you're amazing, you're not so great? Do you deal with that? I know you do. I'd like to know maybe some of your stories. You can write about them in the comments below. You can come to the Facebook page, The Creative License. You could reach out to me, bill@billherman.com. You can even tell some of your stories at the workshop. Come and do my workshop. Entertainment-experience.com. There are seats in the November workshop here in Minneapolis. And until next time, this is Creative License. I'm Bill Herman, and I'll see you next time.